Hello. Um, Chinese New Year, it's about 2 weeks from now. And about 1 year ago, there was a conversation that I had with my mother right in front of my family and my uncle's family that I thought it was memorable. But before I tell you the story, I have to tell you the background. I'm living now in a very, very small apartment with my mother downtown. But almost 3 years ago, we were still living in a gigantic old house on the other side of Hong Kong. And because it was so gigantic and there were only my mother and myself, so we barely see each other. But we have been, living in the house with only ourselves for quite a while. But before that, there were my brothers and, my late father and grandparent, so forth, and 2 dogs. Anyway, so that's the background. So 1 year ago, in Chinese New Year, and we were visiting our uncle's family. And my aunt, in the middle of the conversation, just stood up and said, "Who wants to have Chinese pudding with egg?" And so I immediately raised my hand and said, "Oh, that's my favorite dessert." And by the way, this is the pudding that I'm talking about. And if you haven't eaten that before or even know what that is, it's basically like some sort of a flour thing, and like a brownish pudding, about maybe sometime 4 millimeters thick or 5, and then you dip them into scrambled egg and pan fry them. Anyway, so this is one of my favorite food. All time, even when I was growing up. And anyway, so I raised my hand right in front of everybody and say, "Oh, I want them, my favorite." And my mother looked at me in this kind of expression: "You like them?" And I'm like, yeah. I mean, that's the only kind of snack during Chinese New Year that would draw my attention, and that would make me wake up in the morning, only for that. And my mom had no idea. So I'm thinking, maybe that's the evil side of living in a gigantic house. My mom knows nothing about me. Anyway, so in the same token, the upside of living in a small apartment is that my mom and I will see each other pretty much every day, and willingly or not, I will have to sit in the living room with her watching stupid television show that she likes, or just sitting in a room doing our own thing. But it forced us to get to know each other. And then I also found out one thing about my mother, which I find it really interesting, is that she likes to watch opera, but not regular opera. She likes to watch opera with a lot of singers, actors in it. So one time I walked past the living room, I saw her watching opera, and so I asked, "I didn't know you like opera." And she said, "Well, I don't really understand what they're singing, even with translation or subtitle. But I like that there are many people there." And I asked her what she meant. She said, "Can you imagine how difficult it is? How much effort do you have to put in with so many people in that every time when they rehearse? That's amazing." Okay. I learned one more thing about my mom. Anyway, if I don't see you guys again before Chinese New Year, 恭喜发财，恭喜发财，Happy New Year.